Hello everyone, and welcome to a Seattle expansion draft simulator. We're doing this on CapFriendly today. I just wanted to make a video on my thoughts on who Seattle would draft, just kind of for fun. As you've seen before, we already went through and did quick protect, and I've already drafted the team. I'm going to show you who I picked, and then we'll talk about possible line combinations. So we're going to go draft team here, and we're going to go to Anaheim. So Anaheim, we took Nick Delorier. We're thinking maybe he can go somewhere kind of in depth forward core. We like him. We were looking to get like Heinen, but he was covered or protected, and we didn't really want anyone on the defense other than someone like Manson. Like Shattenkirk's too old. I don't know how I feel about Larson, so we ended up going with Delorier. We needed a forward anyways. And then we go to Arizona. Obviously, Ronta. Ronta will be probably our starter running the net, and I'm perfectly okay with that. He's shown to be a good goalie. The only thing is injury problems, but we'll have a goalie backing him up that can do just as well. Anyone else from here that we were looking for? Not particularly. They're all kind of older players we don't really want. No one that really sticks out. So we go down to Boston. We took Richie. You could argue for someone like Zaboral. That might be a good pick, but once you get and see our defense, it's kind of stacked, and we kind of needed a forward who we know can score, and he's been scoring pretty decent this year. Could have taken like Senishin for the memes, but we chose Richie. There we go. I lost my words there. Buffalo was pretty much a defenseman. It was either Montour or Miller. Obviously, we weren't going to take Okpozo's contract. No one on offense stood out. No one in the goaltending stood out. We ended up choosing Montour. I liked him a little better than Miller. He kind of gives a little bit more shutdown than we would expect out of Miller. And then we go to Calgary. Pretty sure the obvious choice is Bennett. He wants out of there, or supposedly, and we can use him as a good center. He has some potential still at only 24. I'd like to see him grow. Hopefully he can become a top 6 center for us. Carolina is where our first real future pick is. We took Jake Bean here, future defenseman for the team, 22. We're going to kind of let him grow a little bit more. I don't think he's quite ready to make the team when you see our decor, but hopefully he turns into one of those future defensemen for us. Other than that, it'd be Brady Shea, but I mean, there's not enough spots for people that are NHL ready yet. Alright, we get to Chicago. We wanted Walmart more than anything, and he got covered. Goalies, we do not want. The only one we would take is Lykinen, and he's covered, obviously. Defense, maybe we could have taken someone like DeHaan or Zadorov. We chose Janmark. We wanted a decent offensive option, so we ended up going with Janmark. Colorado, we take Taze, and that just provides a nice top 4 defenseman for us. They also have Graves up, but I think I like Taze a little better. Longer contract, so we won't have to worry about paying. We'll have another year before we have to pay him. Other than that, get down to Columbus, and we took Kivlenix. We're going to try run him as our number 3. Hopefully he can turn into something. Other than that, we didn't really want anyone from here. We could maybe take someone like Nash. Other than that, Kivlenix was the best option. Dallas, we wanted a defenseman out of Dallas. We ended up choosing Alexiak. You could argue for Johns. Those would have been one of our 2 we take. Honka just... Typically, I'd think maybe we'd go for someone like Honka, but he just seems to not be ready and won't ever be ready. Kind of looking like a bust. Detroit, we don't even need to talk about Detroit. No, just kidding. There's no one we want here, so we just ended up taking Juice. Cheap contract. Probably be traded away. It just doesn't fit the team, but you got to pick someone from every team. Go down to Edmonton, and we grabbed Caleb Jones. Other than that, there wasn't anybody we really wanted. Maybe say Adam Larson or Tyler Ennis, but Caleb Jones is a nice future player who could push for a spot. Florida, we needed some more offense at this point. So we took Vinny Hinostroza. Figured he's old enough and shown enough that we could put him middle six, get some good, decent production out of him. Other than that, there wasn't really anybody that stood out. Maybe Juleson or Ntivara, but really I think Hinostroza is the best option. Then we go down to the Kings, where we took Luff. Luff is someone we want to develop. We could also argue for Martin Ferk. Other than that, maybe Mata, but I like Luff. He's got a cheap contract. He's young. Look to develop him a little bit more. Hopefully turn him into a middle six player at least. You never know. Then we go to the Wild, and we took Matt Dumba. It's pretty obvious. I don't think you can even choose anybody else. If Dumba's left, there's no other option. And we get to Montreal, where we took Jake Allen. Pretty obvious to be our backup right behind Ronta, and Lennox will back him up. Good goalie pick for us, not too expensive, and we know his potential. Then we get to Nashville, and for some reason they had left up Fabro. And if Fabro's left up for the draft and Seattle doesn't take it, Seattle's trying to not be good. So I'm not even going to explain any more than that. We're just going to move on. Get to New Jersey, we could have taken someone like PK, but geez, that cap. So we ended up going with Vatanen. Nice depth defenseman for us. Maybe plays in our top six, depending on who's ready. You could have grabbed someone like Sharovich. I said that wrong. I butchered that. Or Kukinin. But we ended up going with Vatanen. We get to the Islanders, and we take Kiefer Billows. He's on the taxi squad right now, I believe. And young player, looking to develop. Hopefully push for a future spot. Howden we took from Rangers. We were going to take someone like Hajek, but since, D'Angelo lost his spot, he's obviously not protected anymore. So Hajek got protected. So we ended up going to Howden. Just a young player, looking to develop some more. Ottawa, we took Derek Stefan. Now this is a team I didn't know who to pick. I figured we could take Stepan because he wants out of Ottawa. That's known. And he's a good center. He's played middle six before. I think he's played on that first line before in Arizona. Maybe he gets that spot, but we needed a nice center who's proven. 1 second, the dog is climbing in the office. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. With Philadelphia, we took Ghost. He obviously wants out too. Doesn't look like he fits the team well. Needs a change of scenery. Could maybe looked at someone like Lawton. Other than that, I don't know who else I would have grabbed from them. Yeah, there's no one else really here to talk about. We get to Pittsburgh, and we're going to take Teddy Bluger. We're looking for him, younger player, just about at his prime. We want him to push for a spot. He's been doing pretty good this season, and I've liked what I've seen out of him. Kind of the best option. Either way, we're moving on to San Jose. San Jose was a team we had no idea what to pick. So they traded Balsers, so we decided to take Balsers, or Ottawa traded Balsers to him. Ended up taking Balsers here. Other people you could argue for True, kind of in the same situation, or Gambrell. But we ended up choosing Balsers. St. Louis, if they're going to leave Hoffman up, and we can convince Hoffman to sign, it'll be a perfect for our first line for the first year. Hoffman, we know he can produce. He's kind of there to fill in for Tarasenko. So, with him right here, kind of a free pick. Good at Tampa. Options were Johnson, McDonough, lead the defense, but he's pretty old and on a brutal contract. Johnson's looks a little better. We ended up choosing Johnson. Hopefully we can put him in that top 6 role on the team. And I hope that he's just not playing on that first line in Toronto because of their stacked offense. We know what to expect out of Johnson. He's decent in offense, so good pick there, I believe. Toronto Maple Leafs, we took Dermott. We want him to develop. Younger player, not making much. Obviously, he's going to get paid. Other options here, I really don't know. You can maybe say Joey Anderson, Callie Rosen, but he hasn't really looked like a player we'd want. They're all really old. Other options would be Jack Campbell maybe, but we ended up taking Dermott. Vancouver. Vancouver is a mess this year. Could have taken Holtby in net, but I just think Ronta and Allen would be better than Holtby. And maybe someone like Rafferty or Chatfield. Ended up going for Mott. I like how he's been playing this year. Looks like one of the only competent players on their team. And yeah, he's young. Kind of the theme we're going for is younger players. The top line's older, but the rest of the team's pretty young, 24, 25, 26. We took Johansson here, Lucas Johansson from Washington. Young defenseman looking for someone we can develop. He's in the minors right now, so he's a future pick, but nothing wrong with that. Team's red. There's not many spots on the defense for right now. Then we get to Winnipeg, where we took Jensen Harkins. We want him to play bottom six role or whatever is what he usually plays right now with Winnipeg. But Winnipeg's offense is stacked, so we hope he can look to develop and turn into a middle six, top six player. Other options would be Stastny for a second line center, but we took Bennett, so we feel Bennett and Stepan will be able to handle that. And other than that, there wasn't really much here in the eyes. Winnipeg, maybe some like Niku or Green. Appleton, I don't know, but we took Harkins, and that's it for them. If we go back to the top, we can check out the team here. You can see our 15 forwards, 12 defensemen, 3 goalies. Top line, just looking at the offense, it'd probably be someone like maybe Hoffman on the left side, Stepan as the first line center, then Johnson on the right side. Older top line, but hopefully they could produce. Second line, probably could throw Bennett in the center, Janmark on the left, and then maybe Hinostroza. And then you look for a third line, maybe a Ritchie. Look at someone like Bluger here. I like the way Bluger's been playing. And then Delorier maybe. And then your fourth line, you could do a combination of any of the other 6. You got Mott there, you got Howden, you have Bellows, who's on the taxi squad, maybe he pushes for a spot. You got Balsers, you got Harkins, and you got Love. So I think it's pretty good O-core, especially for an expansion draft. You usually don't get any top 6 players. Defense is what's really exciting. I mean, when they make a mistake and leaving Fabro on cover, that's insane for your future. Looking at that top pair, probably someone like Montour and Dumba. Second pair, maybe Taze and then Fabro. And then for the bottom 2, you have anyone in there, except for maybe Johansson doesn't make it, or Bean. Maybe put these 2 in the minors for another year. But I mean, you have Jones, Dermott. Juice probably gets traded. I don't see him making this lineup. Vatten and Alexiak. Ghost. That's pretty good decor. Not gonna lie. In the net, take Ronta as your starter, Allen as your backup, and Kalenic as your number 3. I think that's a pretty good team. Either way, this is just kind of for fun. If you think I should have taken anybody else, let me know. Thanks for tuning in. Kind of a quick video to fill in some video spots when we need. Hope you all kind of agree with my team. See you guys next time.